Hello and welcome. This is the Wisdom Speakers and Seekers podcast, and my name is Jennifer Regular. I am your host here and also a soul centered empowerment coach at Lighting the Path. On Wisdom Speakers and Seekers podcast, we bring guests from around the globe to be able to share their magic and messages for uplifting humanity. And today, my guest is here from New York. It is Fizz Anthony. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Yes, and lovely for all of you to be joining us. Let me formally introduce you, Fizz. He is a hit singer, songwriter whose music has been on the Billboard Charts, and his credits include performing and recording with Grammy Award-winning producer and musicians like Bob Stander, Paul McCartney's drummer from Wings, Steve Hawley, to former bassist of Marvin Gaye and George Michael's band Wham, Dion Estes as well. He is also the author of Ignite the Rockstar Within, a book that helps people get clear on their life purpose. Fizz has been awarded for his humanitarian work with physically challenged children, as seen on News 12 Long Island's Making a Difference, and continues to donate his time playing and writing with children with special gifts. Fizz injects his infectious songwriting style to help speakers, entrepreneurs, authors, and companies ignite their brand by taking their message and mission statement and helping them create a brand anthem, aka your signature song, so their clients are inspired to invest in them and their services. Fizz is presently working on an exclusive high-end luxury retreat for couples who want to take their relationship to the highest heights by creating their very own soulmate song. Today, he is here to share his wisdom in the healing power of music. Fizz,
Wow,
so
that's a
many
lot of
wonderful
stuff, right?
experiences along your soul path. Thanks so
That's
much for
a
joining us.
Thank you. That was a lot for you. As I was listening, I was like, I wonder if I should have made it shorter for you.
No, that's part of the thing. We always want to play small or skim over our accomplishments and what we've done and what we've experienced, but really why? Like we want to be able to share that to inspire others and
Yeah.
then kind of be reminded like, yeah, I've pretty awesome journey so far, and
What a
continue to
spiritual,
evolve.
what a beautiful and spiritual, intuitive thing for you to just share with everyone, and
Mm.
and a beautiful, friendly reminder for everyone to show up fully and share fully who they are. My gosh, I teach this stuff, and you are the perfect. This was the perfect situation to, we can always use that little tap on the shoulder.
Yes.
We can
Hey,
all
wait a minute.
always use that little tap on the shoulder. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. And Fizz, so what lit your path? What brought you so passionate about music?
Well, I've always associated music with healing the world because that's what
Mm.
it was. It was healing for me as a little boy. And so I had a ritual that I would do. I usually would put on a Beatles album when I was a little boy and close my eyes, sit in a rocking chair, and I would visualize being a rock star like the Beatles, usually John Lennon. I usually would visualize myself with the round glasses and performing, but it was always for healing the world. I
Mm.
always associated and would visualize the children becoming healed, the world becoming healed, and those visions were so powerful. I would come out of these rituals, these visions, crying. That's how powerful it was for me. And so years later, when this movie The Secret came out and they were talking about the law of attraction, it really resonated with me because that's what I was doing. I was doing this visualization, and so I know it was, real and very effective. The thing that I think a lot of people might be missing with that, or felt, because there were people that felt like that movie misled people, but it really, to me, it wasn't misleading at all. The key is that you have to put the feeling, you have to, when you do visualization, the feel, you have to really feel it. That's
Mm.
important. And so those visions propel me to become a full-time musician. And just like you were reading, I literally write and perform with the greatest musicians, Grammy award-winning producers. I've had Paul McCartney's drummer play on my CD, which again is connected to that visualizing performing with the Beatles. And here I have Steve Hawley, who was Paul McCartney's drummer. playing on my CD. And when Steve came in to perform for me, he brought in this big leather bag of all these instruments that Paul McCartney gave him as a gift, because he's
Oh,
also a great percussionist.
wow.
So when he was playing the shakers and the tambourines and all of that on my album, I felt it was like a priest blessing my CD with the shaker. If you ever seen like in the old church, the shake the water, and because I joke around and say rock and roll is my religion.
Oh, yeah. You've been
That's
anointed.
yeah. You know, he was like anointing my CD with the same shaker that was on Ringo used on the Beatles albums. So there was a total connection there, a spiritual connection for me with that. And then News 12 found out about my work with physically challenged children, performing for the physically challenged children, and they came and they did a segment on me, show that they have called Making a Difference.
Mm-hmm.
So there I am, you know, the things that I was visualizing, I've been doing. And then, you know, at the same time, still attaining for that worldwide rock star vision, and having difficulties putting together bands, and the constant struggle with that. And it came to a point where I was like, okay, well, now what? I felt I had to invest everything into my career, because, you know, I was having struggles putting together bands and getting a manager. So I invested my life savings and I hired the best team possible to do the Fizz CD. I can show you that. And so it's an amazing CD that's just got the best musicians in the world on that CD. And that's the CD cover.
Nice.
And
Yes.
it's got a lot of hits on it. This Is It, Take Me Back, Contagious, Anything. I mean, it's just filled with hit songs. And, you know, I was hiring people to promote it. And this guy that promoted Michael Jackson's stuff, he's like, Fizz, you got multiple hits on this CD. But the key thing is really, like, I mean, like Michael had a major record label budget, you know, so it really does. And sometimes it takes money to make money. Not always. It depends, you know, what the situation is. But so I did the CD, but I still didn't get the team I was focused on getting. And so I was like, okay, well, what next?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, when you're driven with a vision, you don't, you know, that's the key thing that people have to understand, is you have to have a big enough vision that's going to drive you through those challenges. And so I'm from New York, but I was looking at these speakers and entrepreneurs in California, and I was like the Tony Robbins and all these people. And I was like, you know, they're kind of like the new rock stars in a way. So I was thinking, how can I separate myself from the rest of the pack and stand out? And so I moved to California and I started studying these entrepreneurs. And one of them was teaching people how to promote their business by speaking. And he said, you need a signature speech. And I thought, wow, they should have their very own signature song. So when they go on stage, they have their own song playing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I created signature songs, writing songs for speakers and entrepreneurs. And that's been very successful. And I have different packages depending on what somebody's budget is, because you know, my top package is with the Grammy Award-winning producer, my Grammy Award-winning team.
Sure.
So it's been an amazing journey. And then I wrote a book called Ignite the Rockstar Within, which I wish I had a copy to show everybody right now, but we had a flood and all my books got ruined.
Oh no.
So I got to order more. But yeah, you can see that on Amazon if you go on Amazon, Ignite the Rockstar Within. But
what inspired that book?
Well, again, I was honestly, it wasn't that I was inspired to write a book from a place of true inspiration. I'm going to be honest with you. It was from a marketing standpoint, because I was studying a lot of these marketers and these entrepreneurs, and they're like, well, if you have a book, you can position yourself. And so it's still a good book. And I've, you know, I'll never forget this one particular young man that didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. And I gifted him with my book, and I kind of created it like a workbook. And he was really, really inspired, and he was getting clarity on his life and what he wanted to do. And he was telling me how the book was helping him. And so it's really good for people that aren't clear about what they want to do with their life, because so many people go to college and they don't even know what they want to do. They go for right, and they're spending all this money and they still don't have clarity, and they're not living their true passion. And you're here, that's what you're here to do.
Absolutely.
So that's so important. So I've been helping people not only get clear on their life purpose, but then once they are clear on what that is, helping them put that into a song that inspires people to join their movement. For instance, like one of my clients, Nancy Matthews, she owns the Women's Prosperity Network. And she does these big events where she's got all these women entrepreneurs in a room and teaches women how to get their business going. And she has wrote a book called Be the One. And so it's about treating everybody like they're the one, because so many people will go to these networking events trying to connect with certain people, and they don't give their proper time to everyone they speak to. And so it's a really beautiful message she has, in treating everybody like they're the one. And so her big dream is to actually sing this with Bruce Springsteen. And so I wrote it in that kind of style. And here, I'll even play it a little. Let's see if it comes through. What you give and not what you get out. So be the one who touches every soul you will meet. Cause everyone's the one, turn this world around. Everyone's the one, as I can see. Everyone's the one, everyone's the one, like you and me. Right, so
that's really beautiful. And you're right, you can actually feel what that provokes in there, right? That there's a feeling of belonging is what I sense from that song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. So the two of you co-created that.
Yes, and that's the beautiful thing about what I do for my clients, because I say I don't write your song for you, I write your song with you. And that's one of the reasons why I'm the most successful songwriter that does writing songs for people, because a lot of there are other people that do that, but they write songs for people and they're missing the boat, because the thing is, you're a soul, and you're not a product, you're a soul, you're a heartpreneur. That's what I call these entrepreneurs that have a mission. You're a heartpreneur. And so the more I can get you engaged in the process of writing your song, whether most of my clients aren't songwriters, they're not even singers. Like that was Nancy singing, she never sang in her life. That was the first time she ever sang.
Wow.
And so it's beautiful though, and it connects when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and open yourself up that way. People will connect to you even more. You don't have to be perfect, whatever people think is perfect. You just have to be willing to show up and show your heart.
Yes.
Show your heart and have fun, and the world will, God will show you more.
God will show you more. Yeah, God will show you more. It reminds me of an acronym for light. If you're shining your light being living in God's highest truth, right? If you put all the letters in an acronym for light, LIGHT, living in God's highest truth. And there's another spin on a word, actually, I like, relating to what you're talking about with passion and soul. And for me, passion is, I have the mindset or framework around passion as pass I on. And I being your soul's expression, really being able to embody your truth and being able to express soul through you, through whatever contribution you're here to make. So becoming who you are, doing what you came here to do, and becoming who you came here to be, and then passing that on in this lifetime. So for me, that's true passion. And I see that in you. And although you looked at the book as like a marketing thing to, get some visibility and get known. Your messaging and the content you put into it
Oh yeah.
is soul. That's your soul's expression. That's your messaging, right? To ignite the rock star within, and then to hear from someone who was inspired by that. Just one. I know there's probably many,
Yeah.
and really that's the message, right? To ignite the rock star within. And we talk about the power of music, and there's lots of musicians out there and sound healers and doing transformational work with sound and music, but um, for you, it's really bringing other people's messages out about their brand, who they are, and then those soulmate songs too. Tell us a little bit about the soulmate songs. How do you put that together?
Yeah, I mean, I do it the same way. I mean, everyone is different and unique in the process of what I do with songs, writing songs for people. For the couple, it's that walking them through that journey of how they met, um, what makes them, what they love about each other, where they want to go in the future, whatever spirit guides, whatever it shows up. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
is so unique and different and has different dreams and goals and desires. But it's such a, my gosh, it's such a life-changing experience. The first soul song I did for this couple, Ben and Jen Rhodey, it really helped their relationship. They were having, some turbulent stuff, and the song literally was a reminder. It was like their sacred mantra.
Mm.
And there's a beautiful testimonial I have on my soulmatesongs.com website, them talking about it and how the song would bring, if they were ever arguing, she would have him sing the song and just bring them back to reality, so my gosh, it's so deep on so many levels. The song, so this custom song retreat that I'm creating is really going to help the couples bond together, even if they don't have a turbulent, let's just say their relationship is perfect, there can always be more.
Mm-hmm.
There's always more. No matter what you think, I assure you, there's always room for improvement and expansion, and love is limitless. And so imagine taking your love story and creating together. So your loved one, your wife, is writing down her version of what your love story is, and you're writing down your version, and then you meld them together and you both create your very own love song with a hit songwriter who literally writes and records with Grammy award-winning producers. It's like, wow. And then
Yeah, wow.
you know, now you've
A
got this
big
song.
wow.
Yeah, it's a big wow. It's a big ticket item too, though. It's
Mm-hmm.
really, I'm being honest. It's this particular thing I'm working on is really only accessible for people that pretty much make 500K a year plus or more.
Sure.
But I've done so many things, and I continue. I've written songs for children that were dying of cancer for free, and
Mm.
do those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, it's people that are spiritual. We come from the heart. We're doing it. We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it, like I'm showing up in this lifetime. Listen, there's a spiritual war going on. I'm not going to go down this road right now in this
Oh, we
interview.
could.
But I've been very active and very involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even say I'm pretty much in the forefront of it, which that's a whole
As an
other.
ambassador.
Yeah, as an
Mm-hmm.
ambassador behind the scenes and addressing things on levels that people, they just wouldn't even be able to understand, or there's two sides, let's just say, to simplify this battle. There's the light workers, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's the cabal. I refer to them as the cabal. Some calls them the Illuminati. I don't like to call them the Illuminati because they're not illuminated.
That's right. Yes.
And so, but they want to enslave humanity, and then they actually want to get rid of a lot of people. So this is where I'll start sounding like a crazy conspiracy person to some people that might be watching this. And so that I don't want to stay on this subject too much,
Sure.
again, because you have to sometimes you have to meet people where they're at. I mean, it depends what the scenario is. I'm not married to any particular belief, and I'm operating on many different realms and dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Rock opera musical I wrote with the Archangel Gabriel over here. was planted in my heart when I was a little boy.
Oh.
And that came through. I didn't know it was Gabriel at the time. I thought it was God. I knew it came from a higher loving source. But through my soul's journey, Gabriel started showing up more and more. And I realized Gabriel is one of my main spirit guides.
Yes.
And so, which makes sense because Gabriel is the angel that really helps the artist. And so this rock opera musical is designed to help elevate the consciousness of the planet and remove dogma. And so it's about a little boy whose name is Anthony, and he remembers being Jesus. He also remembers being a Lakota medicine woman and these other different past lives he's had. And he reconnects with souls that he's connected with in previous lifetimes, like the Rainbow Woman that taught him how to dance on water. Now, the Rainbow Woman, a.k.a. Grandmother Rainbow, she's one of my clients. And I had asked God, I wanted somebody that was in the Jewish world to be in the rock opera, because I'm here to help connect people of all faiths and heal some wounds. And so I met her in Costa Rica when I was doing exclusive song retreats at a place called Sinagita. And I thought I went there for that particular business connection. And I realized when I met her that she was one of the main reasons why I went to Costa Rica, was to connect with her. And I wrote her into my rock opera. And her story is, it's really cool because I never wrote a reggae song before. So she wanted her song like reggae style. And so her song is The Rainbow Woman, and is very reggae style. And so she was talking, when I have sessions with clients, depending on who they are, we go really deep. And sometimes we'll talk about past life stuff. And so she was talking about how everybody's been hearing his history. They've been hearing his story. She's like, now it's time for my story. And so from the perspective of the woman, like, you know, from, as a matter of fact, let me, here. I don't know if I hope the guitar's in tune, but you know, her song. From Eve to Norma to now, she's gonna show you just how. I'm trying to remember the song. Rainbow Woman. You know, it's kind of like that. I'm trying to remember something. Something like that. I'm trying to remember.
That's fun. But I think that's important, the history, my story. It feels like there's a real call to get in touch with and be able to access more of our spiritual heritage and our lineage as well.
Sure.
And bring that all together, you know? And
heal ancestral wounds.
Yes.
And so I've always seen things on this very deep level. So coming into this life, into a Catholic family, but knowing that the story is not accurate from my perspective. If anybody's watching that's Catholic, I'm not offending I believe everybody has a right to your spiritual views, but for me, I do have past life experiences to the story. And so I've always known that story for me was not accurate. And I can also see how it's been harmful for people.
Yes.
So for me, it's how do I help heal wounds? I mean, obviously the belief that the Jews killed Jesus and they're not going to go to heaven. I would have these conversations with the priest, like, that's just not true. I mean, how that's not a loving belief, to believe that somebody's not going to go to heaven or this because they don't believe what you believe or this or that. And so I've always been sensitive to that. And then of course the native connection. I mean, millions of natives killed, here in America, and by the Christians that came here and forcing them to believe in their beliefs, and a lot of horrible stories that people, being stripped of their spirituality. And the truth is in many ways, I say they're more like Jesus than the Christians are. I mean, Jesus didn't claim ownership to any land. He didn't walk around with money in his pocket. He did not claim ownership to land. And these things are very important and very symbolic. People understand that there's a lot of very deep spiritual connection. You know, their church is Mother Nature. It's everything. It's complete honoring of everything.
Yes, all of creation
All of creation.
and
Now,
end of cosmos, and yes, and all of those different um, densities and ways of living and frequencies and vibrations that exist simultaneously.
yeah.
Yeah, that we are and are part of and experiencing on multiple levels. And sounds like you're quite aware of that and how to work with that so that we can bring about and all contribute to global harmony and global coherence.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and finding that frequency of harmony, right? And in training that, and music does that, right? Music
Oh
soothes
gosh.
the soul, it brings up emotion, it heals. So tell us a little bit more from your experiences about that healing power of music.
Gosh. I mean, we can really, I mean, there's not even enough time to
Yeah.
go. Oh
True
my
enough.
God. I mean, think about this, right? So I was blessed again because of my soul connection with the natives, in particular the Lakota people. I was asked by a Lakota chief to perform with them during a festival. It was over 70,000 people in Oregon during the eclipse.
Mm.
This was probably about 5 years or so ago. And it was the first time in history that nations from all around the world came together. All these
Wow.
indigenous nations from all around the world came together to celebrate and to share their ceremony on stage. You know, and of course that has to, you know, they use music, and some of these tribes were over 60,000 years old. This one tribe from Australia using like the, and so music is God's language, and it's the most powerful way to connect with one another. And it's one of the only thing that connects the mind to the heart. And so it's multi-dimensional and healing on so many levels. And obviously you can listen to music, not even know what the words mean, but you know what it means on a deeper level.
Yes.
And and of course, on another level, to go really into the woo-woo with all of you, because again, depending on your belief system, your perceptions can. I personally believe your perceptions can change reality as people believe reality to be.
Yes.
This is where the walking on water thing is absolutely doable. And
Mm.
so, um, and again, you don't have to take things literally. Perfect example, metaphorically,
Oh, sorry, Fizz. It looks like you're
it's another
freezing up a
reason why
little
there's a
bit
verse.
there. You
I
might have
mean,
to
there's
repeat that last part. Sorry, you got frozen there a little bit, jumbled up. So can you repeat the last little bit of what you said?
Jesus didn't teach from scriptures; he taught from his
From his
heart.
heart. Mhm.
Yeah, and the Lakota people in their heart. And life is for always changing and shifting.
Mm.
Scriptures that they become like old manuals. I'm not saying that there aren't things of value there, but there are things that are harmful that are in the scriptures, like circumcision, which is mutilation and torture,
Mm.
and it puts the child into a fear-based frequency, and it's
Mm-hmm.
connected to a lot of the violence in the world. It just is. The child is no longer protected, and the child's like, what's going on? Why am I being physically attacked?
Right.
I thought I was safe and protected, right? So,
Mm.
you know, look, I see on so many levels, right? And so we can go so deep here.
We can, and there's so much more I know that we can talk about. And I think you've brought up so much for people to really think about and consider and reflect on. And
Yeah.
and listen deep within, listen to your heart, and listen to the music, and listen to the sound, and notice how you feel. the whole experience. Like we think of hearing the music, but really it's a whole multi-sensory experience, and that we're
Mm.
allowing that to absorb into our being, into our soul, and into our energy field, and noticing how that resonates or creates dissonance, and how we can come into back into harmony in our own rhythms and in life and with each other as well. And you touched on so many different areas, which I'm so grateful for too. And
I
um,
love listening to you talk, by the way. I just love it.
oh,
I really do. I absolutely love just the words you choose and how you're just, sharing things. It's really
oh,
great.
oh, thank you, thank you. It's
Mm.
just like you say, what comes, it's just when
Yeah,
we speak from the heart and we speak from spirit, and really, that's one of my mottos, is just free your spirit to direct the life that you were meant to live. And yeah, to be in the flow of that and be directed by spirit and feel the freedom of that, and the freedom that allows you to sing and to dance and experience nature and sweet silence, and all of the things that make life life, and to really be able to live it. And so I'm so grateful for the work that you do, Fizz, and what you're bringing to the world. And um, there's so many other things I'd love to ask you about, and I know the audience would want more. So how can they get a hold of you? How can they experience your music and learn more about what you offer and the wonderful work you do through singing and through helping the physically challenged? Where can they go for all that information?
sure. Thank you for asking. So my website is fizzforever.com. That's F as in Frank, I, Z as in zebra, and then the number 4, and then the word ever.com. That leads to my other websites like Signature Songs by Fizz and soulmatesongs.com. And then I'm on Facebook as Fizz Anthony. I really just go by Fizz, but um, I see here too, it says Fizz Anthony because I think Zoom made me put a last name the same with, but I really just go by Fizz.
Just go by Fizz. All right.
Like Sting and Bono, and so yeah, those are good. Facebook's a good way if you want to connect as friends. I'm pretty active on there. Um, Fizz Anthony, F-I-Z Anthony, if you want to reach out to me. And if you message me and you'd like to, for your listeners, if you'd like, I can gift you with some of my music for free. And if they message me, and give me their email, I'll email them some of my music that I've recorded with Grammy Award winning producer. And if they're interested in knowing more about how they can rock their brand, perhaps if they're an entrepreneur by having their own song, I'll send them my free ebook with that. And for listeners that maybe don't even know what they want to do, I can send them my book, Ignite the Rockstar Within.
Well, that's so generous. All of that for you to
Yeah.
offer all that, Fizz. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. My
Wow.
pleasure.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I have ebook versions of those books. And so, you know,
To
uh,
ignite the rock star within.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you're truly making a difference, Fizz.
Thank
You
you.
know, we it's inspiring to see, to know that who you are makes a difference. And now it's time to decide what kind of difference you want to make. And like Fizz, do it wholeheartedly, full invested, committed, wholehearted commitment to living your soul's path and dreaming big, right? Like you
Yes.
taught us
Yeah.
at the beginning there, dream big and keep dreaming and keep
Yes.
evolving and keep expanding. And so thank you all so much for being here and for you, Fizz. And I wonder if you have any last words, special wisdom that you want to be able to share with the audience before we say goodbye.
Hmm. Just don't be afraid to, live your heart's desires and don't care what other people think in regards to that. Don't listen to the naysayers. Listen to your heart
Mm.
and really tap into what you love to do. And don't think, what happens is people, we're born into this system where, you're taught all of these things like you have to do this, and this, work a regular job, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. Be really open to any possibilities. Like I created my business with writing custom songs. People always say, oh, the music business is so hard. I get paid thousands of dollars to write songs for people. And look, I'm not saying that there aren't, the life of an entrepreneur, there are ups and downs, it could be like a roller coaster, but
Mhm.
what is the cost of not living your dreams and your heart's desires?
Right. Mm. That's a really good question, right? And like you were saying, it depends on your beliefs and what you tell yourself and how you perceive reality. So if you're saying, the music industry is so hard, then of course it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But if you're, just doing it anyway and
Yeah,
putting it out there and believing that it belongs out there, then I mean the rewards, you'll be richly rewarded for that. Wealth and health is so much more than money. It's, yeah,
exactly.
doing what you came here to do and being who you came here to be. Exactly.
Yeah, having the dream, having a big dream will keep you inspired through the journey, through the good and the bad, to keep going.
Yes.
So that's why you make sure your dream is, really connects with your heart.
Yes, and align with that vision and
Got
just
this.
keep stepping
Whoever's
forward.
watching, you got this. That's why you showed up. Everyone is special. No one's more everyone's the chosen one. In the rock opera, there's a scene where Jesus is singing on the mound. The chosen one is you. The chosen one is me. It's everyone. Everyone's such a unique expression of God. Whatever God is for you, by the way. I'm not attached to any, but you're the one, and you're special, and no one's more special than you. You have a uniqueness about you. And so do that.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fizz, for being here with us and joining us. And
Appreciate it.
thank you, everyone who's been listening and watching. We honor you. And go check out Fizz. He's offering a lot and he's willing to be in touch with you. So connect.
Thank you. And as I always say, I wish you all peace, love, music.
Peace, love, music.